constant motion. At times chaotic, swept up in the flow of energy. Other times seeking the calm, following a path and calling. We recognize the motion as a part of our human experience, part of nature, and a part of our journey as a people. Flowing outward, reflecting inward. We are a people on a pilgrimage into God and out to God's world.
Let the work of planning go forward, and let the resources be gathered in, that the building of my temple may be an ensign to the world of the breadth and depth of the devotion of the saints.
"1993 will be celebrated as the year we completed the temple. Throughout church history, we have dreamed of fulfilling the divine mandate to build this temple in Independence. It is a concrete expression of our collective faith, responsive to the needs of the world today and in harmony with the vision of our forebears.
Lift up your eyes and fix them on the place beyond the horizon to which you are sent. Journey in trust, assured that the great and marvelous work is for this time and for all time. Do not be hesitant to love your neighbor without condition or qualification. Stand firm in the name of the one you proclaim and create diverse communities of believers and seekers.
The temple is an instrument of ongoing revelation in the life of the church. Its symbolism and ministries call people to reverence in the presence of the divine being. There are additional sacred ministries that will spring forth from the temple as rivers of living water to help people soothe and resolve the brokenness and pain in their lives.
We knew we wanted kind of a universal form something that would be meaningful to cultures outside of the United States. That's what we began to talk about with Mr. Obata. Right away, he began to talk about a possibility of a spiral form. A number of us in leadership positions in the church sort of looked around at each other, and we all kind of said, yeah, that's something that could work. We always wanted the temple to be seen as a symbol of openness. It should not have any secrecy about it. But we wanted the temple also not only to be something that you came to, but also something that you went out from in mission to the world. So that's kind of why we designed it as we did, with a worshiper's path spiraling up into the sanctuary and then spiraling on out into the World Plaza, drawing people into a sense of worship and preparation for mission to the world.
Mi conexión con el templo involucra muchas personas en mi vida, ¿no? Las actividades que hacemos aquí son una vez por semana. Trabajamos con los niños y también las señoras aquí en mi casa, en este lugar. Carolina, que es una de las profesoras maestra, que enseña, y ella está enseñando diferentes formas de actividad, pero siempre enseñando valores cristianos. Mismo tiempo, mismo día, los jueves, un poco más tarde, las mujeres, las señoras en mi casa, y ocupan un espacio aparte. Nora tiene, entonces tiene un tiempo para enseñar a las señoras diferentes actividades como manualidades, pintura, costura y bordados para flores, arreglos, y también tienen un tiempo de devocional para que puedan compartir un poco de reflexión y algunos testimonios, experiencias. Y veo a mis hijos compartiendo con sus amigos, invitando a otros niños a venir, y esa es la conexión, así como afecta, y personas están llegando cada vez más a ser parte de esta comunidad, ¿no? De la comunidad de Cristo. No es como el símbolo del templo que tenemos, que empieza en un punto y después va creciendo el círculo, ¿no? Como el caracol va creciendo grande, y así veo a la iglesia, ¿no? Creciendo más y más en todas partes del mundo.
When we look at ourselves as a body of Christ, we are dependent on each other. In Africa, that is the culture that we have. It's a family. We do not want another person to suffer. The temple, if it is a living sanctuary, it has to be real. And that is not from the building, but from the people themselves. What are they doing with one another? How are they supporting each other in the ministry of Jesus Christ? Those are the temple ministries, the ministry of compassion. If we are compassionate to one another, we are able to show that kind of love. So to me, that's what it really means. It's us, the people who are living. We are supposed to be a living sanctuary. When somebody comes to you, they are going to find peace. They are going to find a solace place. They are going to find love. They are going to feel joy. And of course, you are going to share with them the hope of Jesus Christ. They grow into their faith. Now, when they grow, they become good disciples, and they go now out. When they do that, they share the message of Jesus Christ to other people. We are the living sanctuary. if we practice the temple ministries in real.
It was an early spring morning. My kids were anxious to get outside. Lillian, my daughter, was wearing her temple necklace. A few hours into it, it broke. She didn't have any idea where it was. And since she had been in our front yard and backyard and all over the neighborhood, she just assumed that it was lost forever, and she was absolutely heartbroken. She looked at me and said, you know, if I have looked and I've tried my best and I haven't been able to find it, maybe I can say a prayer that someone might be able to find it and that they'll see that it's a medallion of our temple. And Mom, because you post on Facebook all the time about Community of Christ, they'll be able to recognize that it's ours. In church, we talk a lot about becoming the hands and feet of Jesus and becoming an answer to someone's prayer. And so to have my 7-year-old kind of theologically deconstruct that moment and that experience, that was a really interesting moment for me. We never did find that necklace, and Lily was pretty devastated, but she was able to just come to peace with it and an understanding that, you know, maybe someone will pick up the necklace and maybe they'll contact us and be interested in the church. Who knows?
As we think about the future of the temple, there are some concepts that continue to unfold and help me understand its impact and especially its possibilities. I'm frequently drawn back to Ephesians chapter 2. In Him, the whole structure, and that's speaking of Christ, in Him, the whole structure is joined together and grows into a holy temple in the Lord. And we are being built spiritually together into that household. That image links directly to Doctrine and Covenants 163.
The temple calls the entire church to become a sanctuary of Christ's peace, where people from all nations, ethnicities, and life circumstances can be gathered into a spiritual home without dividing walls.
That is directly linked to the image in Ephesians chapter 2. And that phrase, to become a sanctuary of Christ's peace, is not just referring to the physical sanctuary or the physical structure. We are called to be sanctuaries of Christ's peace, individually, in our families, in our congregations, in our communities, in our mission centers. The whole worldwide body called Community of Christ is called to be a sanctuary of Christ's peace on a daily basis. And I think we need to go deeper and further in our understanding of what that means in order for the temple to really fulfill its potential and come alive in the life of the church.
Outreaching God with each and every one of our lives. May we carry the ministries of the temple far and wide.
Que nuestro viaje hacia afuera provenga de un lugar de fuerza interior dedicada a la misión, al propósito y a tu sabiduría.
Guide us into the world. Beckon us to join together.
To follow your voice. Through your grace, we see a brighter future.
In your guidance, we find meaning. May we share the peace of Jesus Christ in our homes,
our congregations,
our communities,
y el templo por el bien de toda la creación.
Amen.